Hello, Ungoogleable. Welcome to your life. Today is beautiful. Please log in.
This was a challenge. The FJ Cruiser is a four-wheeled representation of what Bro Drillard called simulation versus simulacra. And I'm pronouncing simulacra using the British pronunciation because of Lamal. See, a simulation is exactly what it sounds like. It's a representation of the genuine article, a representation of the real. Here. But a simulacra is a representation of something that either had no reality to begin with or something whose original doesn't exist anymore. Your bartender is a simulation of a therapist, and a barista is a simulation of a bartender. In both cases, it's someone you hope won't judge you for the choices that you made that brought you to them. Put more plainly, a simulation is like a fire drill, or a video game, or a pro wrestling match. It has the appearance of the same danger as the real thing it's simulating, but, and this bit's important, but a simulacra is being plugged into the matrix and trying to distinguish between realities. Which one is the danger and which one is the simulation of the danger? Okay, I'll put it in car terms. An Icon Bronco is a simulacra. A derelict made by the same guy is also a simulacra. Like a Bronco, like an Icon Bronco, there's no history behind that. That car never existed. It's a simulacra. It's a representation of a Ford Bronco that had no reality to begin with. I mean, a Bronco like that never existed, but here it is. So it's not really a simulation. It's something that has no past. And so it comes back to the FJ Cruiser. It looks like a masculine car for a suburban guy that's trying to make ends meet. But the design of the car, the plastic interior and the bulky exterior, and almost everything about it has a stench of rose water and yes, dear. The FJ Cruiser is modern masculinity as filtered through the crucible of misunderstanding. This is what modern man appears to be like, but it's hard to remember a time when this was ever the case. The FJ Cruiser is a simulation of suburban masculinity, but it's also a simulacra because it's hard to imagine this kind of undefinable guy exists. Did a real masculine guy who would drive this car, who would need this car, really exist? Find me a guy who is simultaneously comfortable in his masculinity, but is also constantly making up for his inadequacy. I'm even speaking slower and in a different cadence than I normally do in these reviews. That's why this is so weird. The FJ Cruiser doesn't make much sense, but it exists. It exists to a greater sense than the Pontiac Aztek existed. I mean, that was a flop, but the FJ Cruiser, at least on the books, was a success, right? And so it is with the car itself. The FJ is a homage to the FJ40 Land Cruisers of the 1960s, but because nothing like those FJ40s exist any longer, what you're looking at here is both a simulacra and a simulation. It's simultaneously original and derivative, like memories that depreciate each time you remember them, because you're not remembering the memory itself. You're just remembering the last time you remembered it. Thanks.
It's not a Jeep, it's not a Prado. What's your favorite imported beer? Let's put a keg here. FJ, what's with the 3-inch lift? You don't need suspension.
Today was a wonderful day. Please come back tomorrow.
Red, blue, green.
Mic check 1 2.
Congratulations. You reject the good enough. You reject words like symbolism and postmodernism. Obsolescence is not part of your vocabulary. Every night, every day, every step of the way. The diktat of fashion. The agenda of the color wheel. Gone. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. I repeat. It takes more than a pretty face to catch your attention. Good. That is very good. We are source decoded. For you. For the most perfect moisturizer. The most advanced cosmetic lineup. Scientifically proven, scientifically tested. For you.
Congratulations. Calibration completed.